Welcome, friends, to the PW Fan. The PW Fan is a podcast created by fans for the fans, and we appreciate you listening to episode 156. I'm your host, the architect of pro wrestling podcast, Booker Andy.
I'm also host, the no-selling wrestling indie fan and football lover, Jeremy.
And then Tim, our third host, will be on here shortly. He is wrapping up the Wargames pay-per-view, or PLE, from this past week.
Good timing.
So that he can talk about it. Before we get started, please follow us on social media at the PW Fan, pretty much anywhere. You can find us on any platform. We might be getting some new ones soon, but it's all at the PW Fan. This week, we're going to be talking about the Continental Classic, a new WWE Championship, War Games, and more. So let's dive right into it, starting with AEW. So like I said, the Continental Classic kicked off. We had a couple matches this week. The opening match of Dynamite was Shelton Benjamin versus Mark Briscoe, Continental Classic Blue League. So if you win, right, you get 3 points. It's a scoring system. It's not like a bracket. So if you win, you get 3 points. If you lose, you get 0, and if you tie, you get 1.
Right. That's how
matches, right?
Soccer does it. Like in their leagues, like if you win, you get 3, tie is 1.
Okay. So it's not a bracket. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's whoever has the most points by the end.
I think that's why they call it Blue League and Red League, or what's the other league?
Well, Tony does like soccer.
Yeah, he owns a team in England, so.
Yeah, so I'm sure that definitely has some influence. So Shelton Benjamin would end up defeating Mark Briscoe in the Blue League. So 3 points to him. We had a segment shortly after, Mercedes Moné and Camille in the ring. Mercedes was out there bragging about her win. God, dude, I can't stand her. I can't stand Mercedes Moné.
Like, in a heel way, or in like, you just don't watch?
Dude, I don't. It's like both. It's like I don't like her as a character because she's a heel. I also just fucking can't stand her, man. It's like a mix. Maybe she's just playing the heel like enough to where I'm just like, you suck. Like her during the press conference.
Yeah. It's kind of like because I don't think we're talking about Ricochet. Yeah, because I don't see him on here, but like it's kind of like, you sent that that Instagram thing about Ricochet's promo skills.
Ricochet's old promo when he had straightened hair.
And it sounds very similar to him now.
Yeah. Dude, it sounds like the exact. It's when he was like wrestling in Chikara against Chuck Taylor.
Yeah, at first when I was watching that, I thought that was like someone making fun of him. I was like, no, that's actually him.
Ricochet. Yeah, it's not good. So yeah, Mercedes brags about her win, and then in the ring she's about to fire Camille when Camille grabs the mic and quits instead. Or no, they're not in the ring. They're at the top of the ramp. But Chris Jericho faced Ishii in their second match, I think. He would retain the ROH Championship.
They don't need to keep doing that.
No. But that's a Jericho feud for you. They'll probably do it again, too.
But like the overall match, too, is just them slapping each other. It's like two 50-year-olds.
Yeah.
You know?
I know. Trying to be nice. Hangman Adam Page and Jay White get into a yelling match, which is interrupted by Pac and Wheeler Yuta, who attack. Moxley will end up choking out Jay White. I believe all this stems from the end of the Full Gear pay-per-view when Hangman ended up coming out. This would lead straight into Claudio Castagnoli against Ricochet in the Continental Classic Gold League, in which Claudio would end up winning. Do you feel like they're pushing Claudio right now? I mean, he dominated Darby. He beats Ricochet.
Yeah. I think a singles run
maybe it's
could
just
be pretty
they're
good.
just pushing the Death Riders. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, well, it helps when like all of the members are dominant than just like Moxley or whatever.
Fucking Yuta, though.
Yeah. Everyone knows you hate Yuta.
Doesn't fit. He just doesn't fit in the group, man.
He doesn't fit in any group.
Feels forced. Yeah. No, he fit in the best friends group.
You think he fit in that
shit.
group? I don't even think he fit in that group.
More than these tough guy groups, yeah.
I guess more than, yeah. Wait, maybe he needs to like change his look or something like that. Shave his head.
Yeah,
like Moxley.
Apparently, if you shave your head, people take you more seriously in AEW. Adam Cole, Mike Bennett, and Matt Taven had a segment where they talk about what happened to Roderick Strong at Full Gear at the end of his match against MJF. Kyle O'Reilly would come out. MJF would appear on screen where he says he's focused on the Battle Royal next week, which is the Dynamite Battle Royal. Both Cole and O'Reilly enter the Battle Royal. I can't believe MJF is still the Dynamite brand champion. He's never lost it.
He's won it every single time.
That's so crazy.
Do you think that feud is kind of like lost its steam already? Like MJF and Adam Cole, mainly.
I feel like MJF has lost his steam.
Yeah, well, I think so. But
I mean, do we? It's like the same shtick.
It's also like, I don't know. It doesn't feel that important anymore. Like maybe because there's no title. I don't know.
Good. I mean,
but also when MJF was
with Punk, there was no title. We know we've seen him in feuds that are good with no title.
That's true. But like, I think when he was like sort of babyface-ish before, I think that was just like everyone cared because it was a different side of him. But now he's just heel again, doing the same thing he did the first 3-4 years of AEW.
Yeah, it's a repeat of the old instead of a new take on the old.
Yeah, which it should have been.
Yeah. Jimmy Hayter would defeat Queen Aminata. This would advance her to the International Women's Cup 4-way qualifier at Collision. Winter is coming.
They can add something more to that, right?
Yeah. Add more words, please. So I don't know who else is in that right now or what it's for. I'm assuming it's for Mariah May's championship, but I guess we'll see. Mariah May, speaking of, yes. Mariah May would attack Mina Shafir. I was about to say Marina, and I corrected myself, and I still said Marina's last name. Attacks Mina Shirakawa during an interview, pushing this feud farther. And then the main event was Brody King versus Darby Allin in a Continental Classic Gold League match. Brody King would end up defeating Darby Allin, who they have history together. Claudio would attempt to attack Darby with a chair afterwards, but Brody would interfere and protect him. So Darby's been getting fucking whooped.
Yeah, I don't know what it's been recently, but he just wants to like die, basically.
Well, didn't Mox beat him? Claudio beat him.
Yeah, now Brody King.
No, Brody King. Brody King beat him twice. Didn't they have like a match like a couple of weeks ago?
Where didn't he hang him? Is that the one you're talking about?
Or
then Brody King.
I don't know. They did a feud where they talked about their past.
Oh yeah. Yeah, who won that? I forget who won that. I think Brody King did though.
Okay. Rampage and Collision were back to back. It actually went Collision and then Rampage this week, but on Rampage, Camille was attacked backstage, and then with Collision, more Continental Classic stuff. We had Will Ospreay defeating Juice Robinson in the Gold League to open up the show. Shortly after, we had Kyle Fletcher in a match defeating the Beast Mortos in the Continental Classic Blue League. Do you ever wonder when you're watching Beast how the fuck he sees in that fucking mask? Or is able to move. That's not like a tight.
It looks like
lucha match. It's like it has horns. Like I would hate to be the one like he's headbutting or like, punching him.
Yeah, because it looks like it's kind of like off from his face a little bit. Like there's some like depth to it.
Well, it has like a snout.
Yeah, and so it covers it. He definitely does not have any peripheral vision.
No. Yeah, I was watching this match just like, how the fuck is he?
He's very good at it.
Yeah. So fans, I think, are still somewhat behind Kyle Fletcher after his win. This is his first match after Full Gear.
Isn't he a heel though, like Kyle Fletcher?
Yeah, but I'm like, I like you now because you crushed it.
Yeah, that's a good
That's how I
point.
am with it.
Yeah.
Hangman Adam Page. It's like, do you remember when Hangman and Swerve first feuded? Like, Swerve was like a heel in that match.
Yeah.
But that first match I came out, I was like, fuck, I like Swerve now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like
speaking of
Kyle Fletcher.
Hangman Adam Page. Yeah. Hangman Adam Page defeated Wheeler Yuta. The Death Riders would watch in the crowd. They would watch the end of the match from the stands. Afterwards, he would attack Wheeler with a chair around the neck. Jay White would come out. Death Riders didn't do anything during this. They just watched Yuta get attacked. Like I said, Jay White came out, and he would end up doing a Blade Runner to Yuta, I believe, because Hangman ran away.
You just got beat up this entire thing.
Yeah, it was great. I love it. The main event was Daniel Garcia versus Okada in a Continental Classic Blue League. This one ended in a draw, giving both. It was a time limit draw, giving both men 1 point. Now Okada is the Continental Champion right now, right? So it's not that he defends the title in the tournament; it just goes to the winner in the end. So he doesn't have to be in the finals in order to like. You know, like
so he has to like
you just get a new person at the end of the tournament.
Yeah,
like, he doesn't have to defend it.
So he has to like make it to the
finals. It's going to come down to a finals, but he does like if he had to defend it, he wouldn't be in the tournament. You know, so he could not even make the finals at some point. But that
I didn't even think about that.
So that wrapped up AEW this week. Let's get into WWE. It was go home shows. Raw, before the show even started, it was shown that Adam Pearce, I guess, in front of the crowd, not on TV, which I don't know why they. I mean, you know, if they had a 3-hour show, they would have included it.
I guess
now that's 2 hours. It's a pretty important segment to.
I would think so. It could have been a 3-minute segment to open the show, and that's it.
Well, that's what they did backstage with the United States, the Women's United States. It was just like Nick Aldis backstage.
Yeah, they're like, here's a title.
Yeah, but they did this one in the ring before the show. So Adam Pearce introduces the Women's Intercontinental Championship, and just like the Women's United States,
it's a different strap.
Oh, well, yeah, but there's also going to be a tournament, just like they're doing.
Yeah, I thought that's where you're heading with that.
No, but yeah, it's just same thing, different strap. Which I still don't like the look of this Intercontinental. I like the classic that they had.
Yeah.
Gunther would open up the show, and Damian Priest would end up coming out. They would have a back and forth where Damian kind of put Gunther in his place and humiliated him a little bit. We saw a different side of Gunther, and Damian would end up. They would end up brawling. Damian, what's his finisher called? I mean, it's the Razor's Edge, but he doesn't call it. But he did it to Gunther through the table.
Yeah, I mean this was made you. I don't know, because for this pay-per-view, for this matchup period, like, I didn't think it was going to be
Gunther.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way Gunther's losing or whatever, and this kind of was like, oh, maybe, but not really. Still,
I don't know where they're going with it because, I mean, I think.
Well, now afterwards,
they're doing is Goldberg versus Gunther, but they don't want to make him. I think they want to make him a babyface, but not yet because they want Goldberg to be the babyface.
You think Gunther's still going to be the babyface?
At some point, maybe.
I don't know.
I mean, his personality, I don't see it working very well, but he's always been a heel, man.
He has, yeah.
On the indies,
I don't know.
like in NXT UK, in NXT.
Yeah.
Hello.
Tim's here.
Hello.
We told the fans you were and listeners.
La la la.
We have listeners that aren't fans. We told them you were finishing up the pay-per-view.
I'm ready now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna ask him what he thought, but I was like, why don't we just wait till we get to the actual
Yeah, we're almost there.
Yeah, we're almost there. We're in the middle of Raw right now. So we had an Intercontinental title shot, Braun Breaker versus Ludwig Kaiser on Raw. This would end up in a DQ because Sheamus would interfere. And I will say I was right about the other two matches getting announced for War Games. Which
Booker Andy was right again.
Yep.
Booker
this would include
Andy.
Braun Breaker, Ludwig, and Sheamus, and a triple threat got added to Survivor Series after this interference. Finn Balor and JD McDonough would retain the titles against the War Raiders, which the people seemed to get behind by the end of the match. I saw some people online being like, should have given it to them. Backstage, the New Day would unleash their frustrations with each other. Xavier Woods would bring up how Kofi, squandered his title run to Brock Lesnar in like 8 seconds or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And speaking of, as we're recording this, it is the 10-year anniversary, which I believe Big E's going to be out there, and I have a feeling they're going to break up tonight, but I have the TV off, so I'm not currently watching.
Speaking of which, you just reminded me that I need to get that going.
So Tim is going to put on Raw, but don't spoil it. I will say, me and Jeremy watched the opening segment. Very good opening segment of Raw tonight.
Really good.
Tim, I might have to send you a clip. Unless you have it recorded, then you can go back and watch the opening.
I'm going
But
to
we'll
it
talk
live.
about it
We're
next
doing
week.
it live.
Fuck it, we're doing it live. Backstage, Nikki Cross would terrorize Scarlett, and then the main event was a War Games advantage match for the women's War Games match. It was Bianca Belair versus Nia Jax, in which Bianca Belair would end up winning. All right, let's get into SmackDown. SmackDown opened up with both women's War Games teams against each other and brawling. Shinsuke Nakamura would have a match against Andrade in which he would win. LA Knight would come out to get revenge from last week, but would instantly get sprayed with black mists from Shinsuke Nakamura. We had a Kevin Owens video explaining why he's in the right. I believe they announced that Saturday night main event is going to be Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes for the title. And I was looking, so that's December 14th, right? That's not even like really a pay-per-view. It's like one of those mini ones. Then we don't
It's
have
one of
a
the mini
pay-per-view. It's like a mini like pay-per-view. Remember they did like the Greensboro Coliseum thing. Like it's not a real. It's
Is it on? Is it?
I don't know if it's on TV or on Peacock. It'll be some way for us to watch it, but
Okay.
so that's December 14th. Then we don't have anything until February 1st for WWE, and that's the Rumble.
Well, they have Netflix in January, so that's kind of what takes over.
Okay, well that'll be a big deal. It's still a Raw,
Yeah,
but it will feel.
but
like
it's on Netflix.
It will feel like a night after Mania Raw, probably.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes would end up having a match with Carmelo Hayes in which he would win. This is stemming off of their backstage altercation the week before. The Women's United States Tournament would continue, in which Michin would defeat Piper Niven and Lash Legend from NXT. We had a sit-down segment, pre-taped, in which y'all were bummed about Roman and CM Punk. During the
I wasn't bummed about that. I was just expecting them to be in the ring.
Yeah. Tim was bummed. Tim was bummed that they did not have.
It was a little too cinematic for me.
You don't like Punk being like arms crossed, like dun dun dun.
No.
Punk would, in the end, call Heyman. He said, "Our wise man," which was a fun little.
Yeah.
But they were talking about just teaming up just this one time, kind of just like Cody Rhodes and Roman. They were like one time. Roman Reigns. Okay, so then the main event of SmackDown was the men's War Games advantage match. Jacob Fatu versus Jey Uso. Everyone else was banned from ringside. Jacob Fatu would end up defeating Jey, so the new bloodline would get the advantage in the War Games match. Anything to add before we get into the actual War Games pay-per-view?
Not from me.
Nope. All right. Survivor Series War Games this past Saturday opened up with the Women's War Games. It was Bayley, Naomi, Bianca Belair, Io Sky, and Rhea Ripley versus Tiffany Stratton, Nia Jax, Candice LeRae, Liv Morgan, and Raquel Rodriguez. Bayley and Nia Jax would start the match. Main big spot of this match was Tiffany Stratton swantoning off the top at the same time that Io Sky did a backflip moonsault with a trash can over her. And in her press conference, she just said, "I trust trash can."
I trust trash can.
She said, "I just trust trash can." Because someone asked her about it, she said, "In the trash can, it's very black." And she said, "I just trust trash can."
Got the New Day coming out right now. They're setting it up for something good, but we'll talk about it next week.
Tim.
Don't spoil. I don't even have it on.
Tim.
It's all you can say. Is that a new HBK shirt that you bought, or have you owned that?
I have owned it.
Okay. Well, he's owned a lot.
Well, he would have bought it anyways, because how would he own
Tim
it?
used to only have.
I bought it dead. I bought it. Sorry, guys.
All right, Tim.
I just drove 3 hours. I'm so tired.
Oh.
I did. I bought it dead stock off eBay, so it was still in its 25-year-old bag.
Ooh.
Tim had an HBK hat, HBK T-shirt, HBK, like black wife beater, like with the little shield shit.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So that was a fun spot. I thought this match was
I didn't
great,
fit into that
strong.
wife beater very long. I got in 8th grade, and then my chubby phase started in 9th grade, so it didn't.
He held on to it as long as possible.
Oh yeah, it was probably busting off.
The good opener for the pay-per-view. I felt like all the women shined in this match.
I just thought there's one spot with Nia Jax in the chair.
People were getting on her about like she's too worried about hurting that it makes it seem even more fake than it is.
I thought just those chair shots were like I don't know, so bad. I guess I mean some of it was because like they like who was it? Someone looked up at her and their back's supposed to be there so she can hit like on the back because they can't do headshots. So she lifted the chair up and then the person had to like move over and like show them her back to get hit. I was like,
oh,
that was
like yeah.
It was too slow. Like it was like very slow where you're like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be over this way.
Yeah. Babyface team would win. This was done by Rhea Ripley pinning Liv Morgan with an Eradicator off of the top rope. So, good opener. Like I said, then we would move on to Shinsuke Nakamura versus LA Knight for the United States Championship. Jeremy, what do you want to say about his entrance?
I love Shinsuke's entrance. This was in Shinsuke's
new version of his song. It's dark.
He has a
coming
cool
out like
outfit
an anime
now.
Villain.
Yeah, this is like in his way, final boss Shinsuke. Like I feel like he could
think of the all black, dark Shinsuke, a little bit face.
I loved it, and it was just like the Rising Sun, like the Japanese flag in the background too.
Were you expecting the winner to be Shinsuke Nakamura in the end?
I don't think so, but I mean after that entrance,
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it.
Too soon to take it off LA Knight or put LA Knight? Do you think the feud continues?
Look,
Shinsuke
I don't think
has
so.
not
I
been...
still kind of feel like both of these guys needed this win, so it could have gone either way.
I think Shinsuke needed it way more because he loses every single big match he's in, I think, for the past 5 years.
Dude, Shinsuke just isn't the Shinsuke of old anymore.
Yeah, NXT Shinsuke was the best.
It feels like he doesn't care when he's in the ring. You know what I mean?
It was 10 years ago.
Yeah, but now it just feels like he's just like, I'm just doing this. I think all the losses have killed the passion. I don't know why he keeps on it, besides money.
I like the evil Shinsuke.
I do.
Yeah, this he did have a little bit different moveset for this one too.
Next match, I really enjoyed Braun Breaker versus Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser for the Intercontinental Championship. Really wanted Ludwig to win. I think he's great. I've said it many times. I like Ludwig a lot.
Yeah.
All three guys are great. I also, at the same time, want Sheamus to get that final championship that he's been missing added to his collection. He's only missing the Intercontinental title, I believe. He's gotten them all. Don't be cheering. Don't be. I don't know what's happening. All right. What? Big E's coming out.
I'm not gonna say it.
All right. Braun Breaker would end up winning though and retaining the Intercontinental Championship, which is a safe move. But I'd like to see Ludwig get something.
I think they're just so behind Braun right now. Like, it's not going to change.
Which is good. I mean, he's great. Love Braun.
Yeah.
What did they call it? Instead of the Frankensteiner, they called it the... Corey Graves said the Breakensteiner.
Did he?
Yeah, on commentary.
That's funny. They did reference Scott Steiner more than I've noticed.
Really?
Or there's like...
They did mention
I think
his family a bunch.
Yeah, I think they're just like more okay with mentioning that than like how Vince was.
Because it's literally idiotic that they don't. He sounds like them. He looks like them. He wrestles like them.
Well, at this point, people know because not only the commentators. I mean, he introduced his family at the Hall of Fame. Like,
yeah,
just like the Pillman and Lexus King stuff. If you watch NXT, everyone knows, and they kind of reference like he's like, "I'm not my dad."
Dude, as a barber, I don't know who Lexus King's barber is, but man, that facial hair is crazy.
CM Punk mentioned it the one time he went down there. He's like, "Oh, he's got great facial hair. Look at that."
Great
Obviously,
facial.
He said he had great facial hair?
Yeah, I mean, he was being sarcastic, but looks like someone's taking a stencil and spray painting it.
Yeah, it does.
It doesn't match his hair or anything. Then we had the World Heavyweight Championship match. Damian Priest versus Gunther. They worked Damian's left arm during this entire match. There were times where it felt like Damian, could have won. Unfortunately, and I'm sure this will come back, is that Gunther needed help to win. Not knowing he was going to get help, but Finn Balor would end up coming out and doing a coup de grace to Damian Priest on the outside from the top of the steps. Damian would get in, then Gunther would finish him off and pin Damian. I guess I can't say cleanly, but so it looks like the Balor and Damian. I assume it's just to have a match on Saturday night's main event. Book that up with
that probably makes sense now because they're setting up a bunch of like mini stuff until the next one.
Mini feuds. All right, let's get into the men's War Games.
War Games.
Now, Tim is the most refreshed on this, but I do remember some things from the entrances, such as when Punk came out, he went right up to the new Bloodlines cage and started talking some shit.
He pushed Bronson Reed in the face. I thought that was funny.
Yeah. So we had...
I obviously noticed... So there was a part where they're all in the shark cage together. And when I say shark cage, I mean like the little cage at the top of the ramp. And Roman gives Punk this long side eye kind of stare down.
Punk's
with some
leaning up against the cage.
Foreshadowing. Saying, I don't trust you, but we'll do this tonight.
It was Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn, and CM Punk versus Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Jacob Fatu, Tonga Loa, and Bronson Reed. Jey Uso and Tama Tonga start off the match. And Tama Tonga's climbing around the cage like Spider-Man the entire time. During his entrance, I guess. You noticed that part?
Oh, yeah, that was actually pretty cool. Like, he's crazy.
Michael Cole and Corey Graves are like kind of laughing about it a little bit. So I know I'm gonna end up going out of order with some of the things that happened, but so I'm just gonna sporadically say. So there was a moment, one by one, the people go out, and there's a moment Punk's about to go, and Roman stops him, grabs the cage. Y'all saw that, right?
Yeah.
Sammy goes instead.
You know how many videos I saw today of like they put like they're like Roman and Punk being petty to each other is the best thing, And it's like
dude,
just a
it was so
montage
good
of
this
them.
entire match.
Yeah.
But Tim, you saw him stop Punk, right? From entering. And
but then
and then that would
Punk
the next
does
one
it.
Roman would about to, and he
Yeah.
shoulder checks Roman and goes ahead.
So they're building. They're building.
Yep, slowly.
And then even
Jacob
in the ring
Fatu,
too.
thoughts on Jacob Fatu during this match?
What do you think?
I liked when I like when Solo decided that like it was supposed to be what's his face to Tamatanga was supposed to come out or
Tangaloa.
Tangaloa.
And then he stops him and then he's like no.
Nah, I'm
And then
gonna
Jacob
go.
Fatu's just behind him like
I love you, Solo. I love you, Solo.
but then he does that again with the go to sleep like Punk thinks he got him down and then he jumps right back up.
Oh
and he's
yeah,
right behind him,
and he
like-
gets.
That was a cool spot.
and then throws him up and does the Samoan drop.
Jacob Fatu would also go for a moonsault and fuck himself up.
Yeah, he would.
Dude, that was a little scary. Where
It
I
was.
know he was just selling the leg, but I was like, damn, he almost landed on his
For some
neck.
reason, I
He's
thought
really
I
good at
thought
selling.
really- there was 2 injuries. Bronson
Oh.
Reed jumping off the top. He landed kind
That-
of like Edge and fucked up his ankle.
Yeah.
I sent the
You can see it.
video of it.
Did you watch it in
slowed
slow-mo?
down on Instagram? I sent it to y'all in the group chat.
Oh, you did.
Uh,
Yeah.
My MVP of the match is Jimmy Uso.
Yeah, Jimmy was carrying it.
Jimmy did like a fucking spiral tap almost off the top
Did-
rope, which was like out of nowhere.
Wasn't it Whisper in the Wind?
Or yeah, it was Whisper in the Wind. Yeah.
Yeah.
He also beautiful splash off the top. Did not come
Yeah.
straight down on his legs,
Yeah.
but he
Yeah,
he
that
like
looked nice.
fucked up a toe. I think probably during
He
that.
he
spot.
broke his toe, is what Jay said at the
Yeah,
press conference.
that's not as bad as your ankle, like Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the match, once all guys are in there, there's obviously some animosity with Punk and Roman. At one point, Roman picks up everyone, but not Punk. So then you get to see the transition from that moment to the end. And he does pick him up.
I was
there's
like
a little
so
bit of-
in to what you were saying. I was like,
Tim was locked
going?
in.
Heyman does come out and basically tells them to work together, in which they listen to the wise man. And they end up working together. In the end, so everyone's down but Solo and the OG Bloodline team. And Roman has his arms like out, basically like embrace him, give him one more chance to join. And Solo is basically like, nah, everyone hits their finisher. Punk holds him up in a go to sleep, looks at Roman. Roman's leaned back in the corner, gives him a nod. Punk hits the go to sleep. Roman hits the spear, pins him 1, 2, 3. Ends up shaking Punk's hand.
this is what you wanted to see. I want to see
It was
the
great.
good guys win for every now and
Really
then.
good
You
War
know,
Games match.
Yeah.
This is the 3rd year in the row the Bloodline has been in a War Games, by the way.
do you guys feel like
That's
though
crazy.
now that they've done War Games, they've done Bloodline versus Bloodline? What do you do from here?
Like team wise,
Well, you know, we've this whole time been like, you know, the whole bottom of the third reference from a few years ago. At this point, once you get the 2 Bloodline to fight each other, now what happens? But they haven't let us down yet. Every time I think it's over, they just keep like crushing it, like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
can you go back to show versus show, but in a War Games?
No, I'm not talking
What,
about War
SmackDown
Games. I'm
versus Raw?
talking about Bloodline.
Oh, you're saying what can they?
Like, what does happens to the Bloodline
Yeah.
storyline from
Like
here?
what are they going to do on Friday then? Because like even like Solo and all of them, like what are they? Because they lost. So
Isn't Lance I signed? Aren't they just adding people?
Oh God, I hope that doesn't
Well,
happen
I don't
where
know.
they just.
Like, think about that. Okay, think about this. Think about 2 years ago when we were like, "What else can they do?" And they fucking come up
Well,
with stuff.
we're forgetting about the Rock part as well. Because
Yeah,
the Rock
but that's
has to
the
come
other
back.
thing.
Yeah, the Rock's.
The
Rock's a whole
Rock's
missing piece.
you still need some payoff with The Rock and Roman. That hasn't happened.
Yeah.
So
There's gonna be Rock and
does the
Cody
original, does
as
the
well.
OG bloodline reclaim, like, no, we're the bloodline now, and they come back out to, like, the bloodline entrance, and, like, they're back to being the bloodline, and the other three
Well,
are kind of
have we had a Solo versus Roman solo match?
in my head, and it's no offense to Solo, it just doesn't
I want a Jacob
feel
Fatu versus
big.
Roman match.
Jacob Fatu
That's
versus
me.
Roman would feel bigger than Solo versus Roman. I don't know why. For me.
Yeah. Or just Solo as a wrestler is not amazing. I think that's
So
why.
they're trying to do that thing, like we've said on the
It's
show.
okay, Andy.
They're like,
Looks
stop
crazy.
trying to, it's like the from Mean Girls. Stop trying to make fetch happen. Like they
Yeah.
really want Solo to be.
Andy looks like, I don't know.
I don't know what's going on. He looks like Raiden from Mortal Kombat.
Tonga Loa, man. Tonga Loa is just fucking. People are like, Tonga sucks. Chanting his name during this match. I texted Corey. I was like, how is Tonga gonna fuck up tonight?
I know. It's like almost bad, but it's funny, like to watch it.
So at the end of the match, I will say they walk up the ramp. Punk's by himself. He goes to the back, and I feel like he came back out and huddled around them and was like, they want us to pose. So then they all just posed again.
Damn, this New Day thing is crazy. No spoilers.
It is crazy.
Oh snap!
It's not what I expected.
Big E's cleared. No, don't.
I don't know. Can't tell Andy.
I can't even see the reflection off of Jeremy's glasses right now.
Let me put it this way, Andy. It's no spoilers, but an unexpected ending.
That's what I just said.
If you have actually been watching the shows and every segment start to finish, this has been like months worth of like a story that's been building.
And we've talked.
It's felt like it's been a small thing and could have been pushed to the background.
See, you didn't see what just happened, so it's not what you think.
No, but I'm saying like it felt like there was almost something like, what are they doing? And it's like it was this really slow story build.
Yeah, you talking about New Day?
Yeah. But Jeremy, I'm just telling him because he's gonna watch it tonight. Where you think what you think is not as it appears.
The slow build is.
It's not really the payoff that you think.
Okay.
That's a good way to put it. Now Andy's thinking like, what could they have done?
Yeah, dude, I wouldn't have thought it.
I mean, I guess
I'll
like
it out. I'm gonna watch anyway. Tim sent me a new meat canyon today.
Which one was it? KFC?
Yeah.
That one was like.
Sometimes I like to reach my hand all the way down grab the loneliest chicken wing and undress it.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah, the undressing the chicken.
He's like, come on, just try it. Just try the chicken.
Tim, the fact that you know these lines by line.
He watches it more than once when it comes out.
Oh, I watch him like, dude, when I get him the first time, I watch him like so many times. I just watch. You know what's funny is I just rewatched the SpongeBob one, and it's one that we all used to talk about all the time. But the top comment is somebody said the top comment is "Sponge me, boy," with like so many likes, and I'm like, okay, I'm glad we're not the only one that thought "Sponge me, boy" was the best part.
Spongy.
So,
Sponge me, boy.
Back on track. To wrap up, what were your thoughts on War Games and the matches? And
I thought War Games.
I thought it was a
really
good show.
What do you think of the War Games match itself, the main event?
I thought what I really liked about it is what they didn't do with brutality, because people see the cage and they're like, it's going to be like bloody and crazy. What they didn't do in that, I really liked the storytelling, the little things, the glances at each other, even just like little kind of like stupid stuff like Punk grabbing the toolbox before he got into the ring. It's just like good little things that build into the actual match that make it like more like you get drawn into it. Like I clearly remember
little nuances.
Yeah.
I saw a video like the toolbox was a callback to the Drew McIntyre Hell in a Cell.
Right.
Yeah.
Sammy and Jimmy doing the handshake was kind of back to when they teamed up, and everyone became cool with Sammy during the
it just was had some
one War
cool
Games match.
callbacks.
Yeah.
Jimmy and Jay
I still feel
teaming
like
up with Roman. Sorry, Jimmy and Jay teaming up with Roman before, they weren't really clicking, and in this match, Jimmy and Jay were clicking again. They did their, double finishers, the double splash and the 1D.
Yeah. I still feel
Yeah,
like there's like actual real life tension between, or not tension, maybe just like not friends, I guess, like between Punk and Sammy.
Yeah, I can feel that a little bit.
I feel like Sammy's one that's caught in the middle of like,
Yeah.
they didn't really have beef themselves. I don't think.
I don't think they have beef. I just can tell in their interactions in the ring that it's just business, and we just do what we do, and it's all good. No beef.
No handshakes. Like,
let's just do our. They're not going to pretend to like hug each other.
The opening segment with Rollins and Seth and Punk tonight, I'm just like, I don't like it when they're getting physical, because it felt a little bit, Punk's nose was red. I was like, did he actually get smacked in the fucking nose? Punk was dropping F-bombs at Rollins off of the mic.
Oh, no. Well,
like,
you're spoiling the Punk
got
segment.
Me. They just could have gotten me.
And we're spoiling the... I would like to think that, they're in the back and he's looking at Rollins and being like, smack me. Like, do it. Like, make it look good.
Are you going to go back... And
I'm going to rewatch that segment.
Should I send you?
I'm just going to rewind.
All right, but that's it, guys.
So I do have a classic show of the week, and I think it's been long enough where we can actually consider this a classic show of the week. It is another War Games event, except I'm taking you all back to 2017, and this is NXT War Games, absolutely classic show in every sense of the words at this point. All names that you're going to recognize, a bunch of them have gone to other places. All people that you know. This isn't like a classic Tim naming a bunch of boring people from the 80s. So this is War Games 2017 NXT. So it's Ruby Riott, a.k.a. Ruby Soho, against Sonya Deville. Johnny Gargano one-on-one against Pete Dunne for the United Kingdom Championship. Lars Sullivan against Cassius Ohno, a.k.a.
Ohno.
Dude.
What's Cassius Ohno? What's Cassius? Chris Hero.
Chris Hero.
So Lars Sullivan versus Chris Hero. Malachi Black, a.k.a. Aleister Black, versus the Velveteen Dream. Ember Moon versus Kairi Sane versus Nikki Cross versus Peyton Royce. Another banger coming up right here.
Nikki Cross back then was great.
I know. Dude, listen to these last two matches. It's crazy. God, so stacked. So you got Andrade Almas, a.k.a. just Andrade, against Drew McIntyre for the NXT Championship.
That's when Andrade wins it.
And then the last match is the War Games match. The entire Undisputed Era, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish against the Authors of Pain, who have recently reemerged, Akam and Razor, and Roderick Strong. And Sanity, who was Alexander
Sanity
Wolf.
Was great.
Yeah, Alexander Wolf, Eric Young, and Killian Dane. So what a throwback. I can't believe 2017 is as long ago as it was.
Well, those War Games, it was always
it is a classic show now.
Undisputed Era in the War Games matches.
But isn't it just like fucking crazy? Like Black and Gold NXT, that was a long time ago. Like 2015, dude, it was like 10 years ago.
I still remember the first takeover they did, which was at Full Sail.
Yeah, was that the one where Tyler? Oh no, I'm thinking of the first one in New York, where Tyler Breeze and
yeah, I forget his name.
Tyler Breeze like opened the show against that masked Japanese wrestler. I can't remember his name. Legendary guy. I feel so sorry. I feel so bad that I can't remember. Jushin Thunder Liger. Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. But I was gonna say Bayley and Sasha's title match, and like I forget who for the girl in the crowd that Sasha Banks went over and took like I don't know her hair braid or whatever out in the middle of the match. I thought that was
NXT
at Full
TakeOver
Sail.
Brooklyn. Yeah, it's Brooklyn. I think the first one is Full Sail, and then it's Brooklyn, and then it's
Yeah.
Chicago.
Is the
Something
first
like
one the
that.
one Kevin Owens and Balor in a ladder match?
No, that's the NXT first takeover is like all the way back to. Oh, actually, you know, you're right. It could have been Kevin. It could have been KO because he was right after the Pac
Because that was
and
in
Bo
that
Dallas
Full
era.
Sail, that match.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Dude, my
God, and
Raw
all those
isn't
guys now are
loading.
all like amazing now and like doing huge things. Like even Bo Dallas, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Basically,
All right.
right now we're getting NXT Black and Gold, but it's Raw and SmackDown, so it's pretty sick. But well, that is the end of the show. This was a fun one. Hope everybody enjoyed War Games. Really good matches, really good storytelling. You know, not super violent or like anything crazy, but definitely worth watching just for the storytelling and the fun nuances in the matches. Yeah, definitely go back and watch the NXT Takeover War Games I just talked to you about. That's another good one worth watching, and we will catch you guys next week for episode 157. Is that right, guys? 157?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Everybody have a great week. Go enjoy some pro wrestling. Take it easy. Life's crazy. Just relax.